Welcome to Southwind Designs. Let me show you how to make a fun curvy letter O. Hey, this is Annette from Southwind Designs. This is video 2 on my alphabet soup or love letter promotion, and I'm showing you how to do the letter O, the large letter O. As you know, there are 2 sizes, so this is the small letter, and I'm going to show you on the large letter because you can see it better, of course. So I lay everything out on a board, and it just shows me that I have all the pieces and how everything goes together. And of course you follow the instructions on the card, and they're numbered, and it's quite easy, really. So the first thing I do is I do a little prep work. I start with my squares, fold them in half, and I press them with the warm iron. That just kind of holds the shape in place and makes things easier. Then I use a glue stick and I put a little dab of glue, and that is enough to just hold it in place and just kind of prepare things. It's all about making things easy for you. And these first ones, they go all the way around. Whoops. Starting with the largest corner, and you can just push on them and they just stick right down. Okay, so last one. All right, put the cap on. So now we're going to do our first sewing, and we're going to sew a little strip to each side. Now I also like to use a little, what I call a feeder, and that just kind of makes it easy when you start sewing. No long threads to cut. Okay, so another thing these feeders allow me to do is just keep on sewing. Okay, so this is the first one, and you can see I kind of finger press things because I really don't like to jump up and down to the iron board. And if it works, then I will try to get away with it. Okay, so this is the other side. So now there's some longer strips. There's a skinny strip on one side and a wide strip on the other. As you can see, I don't really use a lot of pins. I use pins mostly for pinning on borders, but most of the time I don't use them. But you can if you want to. There's no law against that. Okay, that's the other side. See how this wants to kind of creep out a little bit? I'm just going to poke it back in. Finger press that out. Okay, so it looks like this. So the same thing in the outside triangles as the inside. I just take a little dab of glue and I just kind of prepare my piece. Makes it really easy right here. And just start in the bigger corner and just kind of make them behave onto the side. Okay, you don't need a lot of glue, just a little bit. Little dab. Okay. All right. Last one. Okay. All right. So the only thing left to do is to sew the frame around each letter. Make them all the same size. Okay. And again, my little feeder. Okay, and finger press the other side. Now the last ones are the top and bottom. Finger press again. And I always just kind of start a little ways and then make sure it fits over there. All right. Other side. last side. Okay. Oops. This fabric is kind of hard to see the right and wrong sometimes. Okay. See how this wants to escape? Just kind of make it behave. All right, so I'm actually going to cut the thread on this one because now I'm going to show you how to do the top stitching. Okay, so you want to start on one of the corners. Any corner's fine, and I just kind of stitch in place. But if you have a thread cutter, it'll automatically do a lock stitch. Then I'll peel this back as far as it wants to go, and I go right on the tip of that triangle just to kind of secure it again. Then I go right along the outside of the original fold. I just kind of peeled it back and smoothed it out. Since it's on the bias, it's an automatic bias when you fold a triangle, it's very easy to fold it into a curve, and it's not very hard to do at all. Now, instead of breaking my thread, I'm just going to take it to the other side and go back on top of that folded back triangle. And I do have to say, at first you might want to go a little slower. I get a little carried away after a while. Larger curves are easier to do, and smaller ones you can glue them down to make it easier. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing, stitch in place, and there you have it. So here is your letter O, and the thread I used is a little bit gray, so you can actually see something. If you were doing it, you would probably prefer a white thread, but the same thing is on the inside. You just peel these back and top stitch them, and you saw it was very easy to do this letter, and it's the same way, just with smaller pieces. So there's your letter O, and I hope you participate, and I'm going to include those letters in any size order, and then you're eligible for a drawing. Just tag me on Facebook, Instagram, or even just send me an email, and I'll put you in the drawing March 15th. Thanks for watching. See you next time.